1 2. One, two. 1 2.
Hello and welcome to Parliament Television for our live broadcast of the President's Question Time today, 21st of February 2024. I am Rejoice Shumba. Thank you for joining us. The President of the Republic of Malawi, Dr. Lazarus Makathi Chakwera, will today appear in Parliament to answer questions on the SONA, which he delivered on 9th February 2024. This will be his fourth appearance in Parliament since taking the presidency in 2020. His appearance in Parliament is guided by the Standing Order 70B, subsection 1, dealing with Section 89, subsection 3C of the Constitution. This states that during a budget meeting of the Assembly and immediately before consideration of the budget estimates, the President shall attend Parliament to respond to questions asked and raised during debate on the State of the Nation address. The question time for the President shall last for 1 hour, 30 minutes. The President will take a maximum of 5 original questions that are on today's order paper and 3 supplementary questions, and under each question will follow. Among others, the questions border on matters on national and international importance and by the members of the Assembly. These may include matters of which government is responsible. Shortly, the President will be entering, followed by the Speaker's procession. The President will sit on the government side of a seat specially reserved for this purpose by the Speaker of Parliament. This is guided by Standing Order 70. Let us now cross over to the chamber to follow the proceedings. Kati mukuyatsa kumene kanema wanu tikulandireni pakanema wa Parliament lero lachitatu pa 24 February 2024, tsiku lomwenso mtsogoleri wa dziko lino Dr. Lazarus Makathi Chakwera akubwera mnyumbayi kudzayankha mafunso kuchokera kwa aphungu a nyumba ya malamulo. Lero muli ndi ine Rejoice Shumba. Aka kakhala kachinayi kuti President Chakwera abwere mnyumbayi kudzayankha mafunso kuchoka pa nthawi imene anakhala mtsogoleri wa dziko lino mchaka cha 2020. Mafunsowa akuchokera pa zomwe adayankhula mnyumbayi pa 9 February 2024. Kubwera kwa President kudzayankha mafunso mnyumbayi kumatsogozedwa ndi gawo 70 la malamulo oyendetsera nyumbayi komanso gawo 89 la malamulo a dziko lino. Mtsogoleriyo akuyembekezeka kukhala mnyumbayi kwa ola limodzi ndi mphindi 30. Mtsogoleri wa dziko linoyo akuyembekezekanso kuyankha mafunso asanu amene ali pa ndondomeko ya zokambirana za mnyumbayi za lero, ndipo funso lililonse likuyenera kukhala ndi mafunso 3 owonjezera. Mafunsowa akhala okhudza zinthu za mdziko muno komanso mayiko ena zomwe zikukhudza kwambiri dziko lino. Posachedwa apa mtsogoleri wa dziko lino Dr. Lazarus Makathi Chakwera akhala akulowa mnyumbayi motsatana ndi mdipiti wa aspika a nyumba ya malamulo. Tsopano tiyeni tilowe mnyumbayi kuti titsatire zonse mwatsatanetsatane.
Let us pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness has appointed the office of the rulers and parliament for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we ask you to behold with your abundant favors your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this land. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we may treat and consider all matters that shall come under deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of this country and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Amen. Amen.
General business, communication from the chair.
Good afternoon, honorable members, and welcome. I wish to welcome His Excellency the President into the parliamentary chamber. You are welcome, Your Excellency. I wish to remind honorable members that His Excellency the President is appearing in this House to answer questions based on Standing Order 70B and read together with Section 89(3)(c) of the Constitution. I wish to remind honorable members that according to Standing Order 70A(8), the President will answer a maximum of 5 questions for a period not exceeding 1 hour, 30 minutes. In each of those 5 questions, members will be allowed a maximum of 3 supplementary questions, which are guided by Standing Order 70A(10). Let me therefore remind honorable members to strictly abide by these rules. That marks the end of my communication.
General business, questions to the President, understanding Order 70B.
Once again, welcome, Your Excellency. We'll go straight into the questions, but if you do have anything to say before the questions, Your Excellency, we'll give you time to do that. And immediately you do that, we'll go straight into questions 1 to 5. So I'll give you time if you have anything to respond to the debate that was carried out earlier. We'll give you time to do that, and then we'll go to the specific questions, Your Excellency. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, in my State of the Nation address 12 days ago, I made an appeal to members of this House and all Malawians they represent. And my appeal was for us to collectively respond to the challenges we are facing as a country and the solutions we are deploying as a government by adopting a mindset, an attitude, and a posture of seriousness. I am therefore honored to be back in this House to answer the people's questions regarding the present pertinent issues that I highlighted in my address, but I must register 4 votes of thanks before I take questions. First, my thanks goes to you, Madam Speaker, for the stellar job you are doing in providing leadership to this House during a time of great consequence like this one, and the skillful manner in which you remain resolute in enforcing the rules and standing orders of this House without a modicum of partisan partiality. My past experience of serving as a member of this House and my close monitoring of what has been transpiring here during this sitting fortifies me in the belief that this is no easy parliament to manage, and I can assure you, Madam Speaker, that you are doing such a fine job of it. So much so that you can be assured of government support and submission to your constitutional authority as Speaker, even when you make decisions that go against us in the interest of upholding the rule of law. As such, Madam Speaker, though it is sustained to this House that certain members descended this House into a state of grave disorder on the afternoon of last week, Monday, it is altogether comforting that you were decisive in using your constitutional authority to prevent this House from being turned into a warehouse for settling.
Honorable member for Cholotava. Can I have order? Cholotava, you cannot interrupt the president. Honorable members, let me have order, please. You cannot interrupt the president. I'll give you time. Thank you. You cannot interrupt him. Please resume your seat, Cholotava. Yes, you resume your seat, Cholotava. Resume your seat. Resume your seat. Resume your seat, Cholotava. Can I have order, honorable members? Can I have order, please? Honorable members, can I have order, please? Can I have order, honorable members? Cholotava, you cannot interrupt the president. I'll give you time for you to contribute, but you cannot interrupt him. Thank you. Proceed, Your Excellency, proceed. Order, honorable members. Order, please.
Madam Speaker, I was commending you for using your constitutional authority to prevent this House from being turned into a warehouse of settling intra-party wrangles that have nothing to do with the business of this House or the welfare of the Malawian people. In fact, the restoration of order we are all enjoying is a testament to your dexterity, Madam Speaker, and on behalf of all Malawians, I extend to you our thanks. Now, while on this subject, Madam Speaker, I call on all members of this House to remember that it is this House of Parliament that bestows upon them the accolade of being called honorable. And the way they can ensure that they uphold and sustain that honor is to ensure that they do not only obey their own standing orders and the orders of such other governance institutions as the courts, but they also respect the constitutional mandate of those who hold various offices in this House beginning with the Speaker, for as the late Wambali said in one of his songs, the people you represent will not trust you if those of you who work as lawmakers are the first to behave like lawbreakers. Secondly, Madam Speaker, I must thank the honorable member representing the people of Dedza North for moving a motion that this House takes a position of agreement with my State of the Nation address. And to the honorable member representing the people of Lilongwe Southeast for seconding that motion. Thirdly, Madam Speaker, my thanks goes to those members of this House who took the substance of my address to the people they represent and brought back the questions Malawians asked in order to seek whatever clarifications they deemed useful in expanding their horizon of understanding how they can support the work of building a new Malawi characterized by food security, job creation, and wealth creation on the foundation of increased productivity and value addition in agriculture, tourism, and mining as per our ATM strategy. Lastly, Madam Speaker, I must thank all those members of this House who have contributed substantively to the debate on the State of the Nation address, which I followed with their keen interest. In fact, Madam Speaker, before I attend to questions, allow me to highlight a few of the representations from the debate that I would like to comment on presently, especially the ones I consider most urgent in improving public service delivery to Malawian people and building a coalition of patriots from all parties to focus on building on the positives and progress we are registering. First, I'm glad that the honorable member of Blantyre City Southeast highlighted the situation that is hindering the printing of passports at the Department of Immigration under the Ministry of Homeland Security. While he is right to vocalize the frustration that Malawians are feeling from not being able to have their passports printed, it is against the rules of reasonableness and natural justice for him to prescribe a cabinet reshuffle as the solution to a problem he has not yet fully understood. As such, since I was the one who called for seriousness in the way we address such matters, I am duty-bound to inform Malawians that the printing of passports has been suspended because the system at immigration was hacked by digital mercenaries who infiltrated that system. Now, this is a serious national security breach.
For members, order, please. Can I have order, please? Order, please.
And though Malawi is not the first in the modern world to be the target of and suffer this kind of cyber attack, we have taken very decisive steps to regain control of the situation. In fact, my directive to the Department of Immigration is that it has 3 weeks from today to provide a temporary solution and resume the printing of passports for Malawians while a long-term solution with additional security safeguards is being developed and set up. Having said that, Madam Speaker,
order, please.
having said that, Madam Speaker, as Commander-in-Chief of our country's security forces, I wish to issue the following message to the hackers and anyone inside the state apparatus who may have aided or abetted them. As long as I'm president, government will never pay the ransom money you have demanded after hacking the system. Because we are not in the business of appeasing criminals with public money, nor are we in the business of negotiating with those who attack our country. And secondly, we have opened an investigation to trace and track this hack to its source. And when we find you, you will be brought to justice and there will be no clemency or mercy. Madam Speaker, that is all I wish to say on this matter. Secondly, Madam Speaker, the Honorable Leader of Opposition, in his response to my address, pointed out that even though the SONA was beaming with indisputable achievements registered under my administration, he said that, quote, "In the shadows of every achievement lies the echoes of unmet expectations," end of quote. However, Madam Speaker, I believe that where the Leader of Opposition sees unmet expectations, the Malawian people have the right to see untapped opportunities. I believe that if he can only change his mindset, he will see that what he regards as unmet expectations are in fact construction sites of works that are still in progress and works we are determined to complete. When someone says, "I'll build you a house," and 3 years go by without any works being seen to be commencing, it is reasonable to lament that the house was an unmet expectation. But if the foundation is being laid, if materials are being delivered to the site, if workers are on the ground mixing cement, mortar, and water, if bricks are being laid one on top of another, then it is not a reasonable thing to call that construction site an unmet expectation just because you are not yet enjoying living in that house. The right mindset is to rejoice in the progress made. Excuse me. The right mindset is to rejoice in the progress made, call for seriousness in the workers to complete the works, and make provision for temporary shelter for those waiting to occupy the house once completed. That is the position I presented, Madam Speaker, to this House. And now, most importantly, Madam Speaker, I notice that many members of this House are concerned about the dry spells in some parts of our country, raising fears of deepening food insecurity on top of the food shortages that over 4 million Malawians are already grappling with. I want to thank everyone in this House who has used their voice to speak on this matter. And I'm going to tackle this in the question time, but I just wanted to say that it is at the outset that my entire government is seized of this matter, because even though the dry spells are a force of nature induced by climate change, factors beyond our control, it is fully in our control to provide relief to Malawians so that no Malawian will die of hunger. For that reason, I'm happy to announce that we are finalizing preparations for the upcoming launch of a presidential initiative to end hunger. And we have already sourced hundreds of thousands of bags of maize flour to be distributed to affected households across the country until every house that has lost its food basket is replenished. Having said that, Madam Speaker, I now yield the floor to the questions from honorable members under your guidance.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Honorable members, we now go to questions, and we'll start with SONA question 1, coming from Nkatabe Southeast.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for giving Nkatabe Southeast a chance to ask a question to the President. But before I do that, Mr. President, the message from Nkatabe Southeast is that you are facing an army of lions led by a sheep. Such an army never wins any battles, let alone wars. Mr. President, in your SONA, you said that you have done, in an effort to stop government borrowing its own money from commercial banks, you have moved 22 accounts.
For Nkatabe South, just confirm the question, please.
Sorry.
Confirm the question.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. The question on the order paper is indeed from Nkatabe Southeast. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Nkatabe Southeast. Your Excellency, the President.
Madam Speaker, the honorable member of Nkatabe Southeast is asking the President, considering that your administration has so far moved 22 accounts of state-owned enterprises to Reserve Bank to stop government from borrowing its own money from commercial banks, is there a special reason why this noble policy could not be extended to all state-owned enterprises, including the fully subvented and commercial ones? Why do it in phases? Madam Speaker, the migration of state-owned enterprises, SOE's bank accounts, to the Reserve Bank of Malawi is part of the wider reform agenda in the parastatal sector. As I earlier alluded to in the State of the Nation address delivered this August House, February 9, 2024, My administration has already migrated the bank accounts of 22 regulatory state-owned enterprises, SOEs, and statutory bodies from commercial banks to the Reserve Bank of Malawi, RBM. So my answer to the honorable member representing the people of Nkatabe Southeast is an emphatic yes. I will continue with the migration policy to include the fully subvented organizations and commercial SOEs because it is fundamentally and morally wrong to continue this policy of allowing a few entities to control the wealth of Malawians for their own self-enrichment. But as to why the process has to be done in phases and in an orderly manner over the course of the upcoming fiscal year, the reason is to minimize instances of disrupting operations, which can then adversely affect the quality and speed of service delivery to Malawians. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Sanje Lalanje, Mulanje Bale, and then Mangochi Mankibe. In that order.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Honorable members.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker, for recognizing the people of Sanje Lalanje.
Order on my right. Order, please. Order, please. Order, please. Order, honorable members on my right. Can I have order, please? Honorable members on my right. Order, please. Order, please. Lalanje, proceed.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker, for recognizing the people of Sanje Lalanje to ask a supplementary question to the
Honorable Minister of Gender
of Malawi.
Why are you rising, Honorable Minister of Gender? Sanje Lalanje,
It's a point of order.
Yes.
Can I proceed?
Why are you rising, Honorable Minister?
I just want to find out from the member who is holding the floor, is it in order that she can stand and ask a question to the President that she doesn't recognize?
Honorable Minister of Gender, the Honorable Member for Sanje Lalanje has got the right to ask a question in this House. She can ask a question in this House. Please proceed, Honorable Member. Please proceed.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker, for giving the floor to the people of Sanje Lalanje to ask a supplementary question. Madam Speaker, Sanje Lalanje is led by a banker who is speaking, and that banker is not a sheep at all. The
Honorable Member, Salima Southeast, order, please. Honorable Deputy Minister of Water, order, please. Salima Southeast, order, please, order. Please proceed, Sanje Lalanje.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker, for giving the floor to the people of Sanje Lalanje. Right Honorable Speaker, Sanje Lalanje is a banker herself. And Sanje Lalanje is not a sheep. She's a lion. And she's being led by a lion. Right Honorable Speaker, through you, I would like to ask that question to Mr. President. Mr. President, why are we not the move to transfer bank accounts from commercial banks to Reserve Bank of Malawi? What would you comment on the following? The first one is to do with cost-benefit analysis. Have we done enough cost-benefit analysis to make sure that the banks will not be able...
Honorable members on my right. Honorable members on my right. The question is to the President, please.
Have we, Mr. President, have we done enough cost-benefit analysis to make sure
Proceed.
Mr. President, have we done enough cost-benefit analysis to make sure that our financial sector remains stable and capable of providing loans to the private sector? The second one, Mr. President, is that once we've moved the funds to RBM, what measures have we put in place to make sure that this government does not now this time around borrow the money from Reserve Bank and not the private sector banks? Thank you so much, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Sanje Lalanje. Mulanje Bale.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. President, welcome to Parliament. An area that you've responded to is a technical area in the financial management of this country. As you are aware, the people of Mulanje Bale are represented by not an accountant, but someone who feels this economy needs to be looked into all angles. What measures are you putting in place that you are not lumping all these monies for those that continue to steal this money? Because, Mr. President, you can give an order and the order can be followed, but history has told this country that majority of your orders, very same people don't follow them and they end up misusing. While I believe that you have a will to correct this, some people somewhere might be celebrating that the president is bringing money closer to them. What measures have you put in, Your Excellency, that this money is not is coming closer to government, not closer to somebody's pockets? I hope you know there are greedy people in this country, Your Excellency. Some always come to you, and some maybe are seated behind you there. We don't know them. I just wanted to make this a clarification. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Your Excellency, thank you very much. I hope you have understood my question. I'm available to repeat it if you need a repetition. Thank you, Excellency.
No, Honorable Mulanje Bale, that request has not been made in terms of repeating the question. I think it's up to the chair. Yes, thank you. Mongo Chimankibe. Honorable member for Blantyre City Southeast, why are you rising?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I am being blocked from looking at my president by the cameraman. I wanted if you could ask him to move a bit so I can be able to see my president clearly. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable, Mr. Cameraman, I don't... Honorable members. Honorable member. Can I have order, please? Honorable members, we want the president to respond to as many questions. Can we reduce the point of orders, please? Honorable members, please. Please, please. Mango Chimankibe.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for allowing me to pose a question to the State President. Right Honorable Speaker, my question to the State President is, considering that most of these parastatals have procured loans from the very same commercial banks where they were holding their accounts, how capable is the government to ensure that they free up these parastatals from being tied to these commercial banks by bailing them out so that they can release the collaterals, and be free to open their accounts with the Reserve Bank of Malawi?
Honorable members, can we reduce the noise so that the president gets the questions clearly? Please, 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 please. Honorable member, I've said no more point of orders. We need the time. Proceed, Mangoshi Mankibe. Finish your question.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. And I was saying that most of these parastatals have procured loans with the same banks, the same commercial banks that they want to run away from, and they open their accounts with reserve banks. So I wanted to find out the plan that the President and his government has put in place to ensure that all these parastatals are freed from these loans, so that the collaterals are freed and they are indeed capable of leaving those commercial banks and open their accounts with the Reserve Bank of Malawi. Thank you.
Thank you, Mangochi Mankibe. Your Excellency the President. Honorable members, order please. Your Excellency the President.
Madam Speaker, through you, let me express gratitude to the people of Nsanje Lalanje, who would like to know whether there's been any cost-benefit analysis in this decision. If so, what measures are in place to make sure that the transition does not do injustice to the commercial banks. Some of the other questions will have touched on this from a different angle, but let me assure people of Nsanje Lalanje that this country will advance much faster when commercial banks begin to lend to the private sector in big way. Because everyone says that the private sector is the engine of the economy, and yet most banks have been satisfied by doing business with government. We want that space created where truly there will be now productive enterprises across the country because banks are lending to the private sector. And so while we may not spell out to you all of the measures, the Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs will be ready to give updates every time these things are happening. It may be a technical area, as Mulanje Bale has stated, because Mulanje Bale is concerned with those who are so greedy that they would want to seize on this opportunity to steal more money. I want to assure the people of Mulanje Bale that what we are pursuing in terms of these type reforms is not going to be like the past that led to the drain of government coffers through systems that were intricately put in place to defraud this nation. I could go into history. I do not want to do that. But I just want to assure you and the people of Mulanje Bale that every thief will be pursued, and nobody should feel that they have a right to public resources that were meant to serve Malawians and feel that they will be protected and get away with it. That day is over. Mangochi Mankibe was concerned because Many of these SOEs had procured loans. So what happens? I want to assure the people of Mangochi Monkey Bay that we are not talking about a holding account. Those service accounts will still be there, and they will follow through according to the law. If people are worried that this is such a disruptive thing, I want to assure the people of Monkey Bay it's not. Everything will be done according to a rule of law, and there should be no worry with regard to those type of loans, because they will still have accounts. I'm talking about the holding account. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. We will now go to question 2, SONA question 2, coming from Cholo Tava. Honorable members, can we hear the honorable members, can we hear the honorable member for Cholo Tava and leader of DPP in silence, please, honorables, please.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Madam Speaker. I rise to confirm that question number 2 appearing on today's order paper is indeed coming from the people of Cholo Tava and the entire mighty democratic progressive
Lilongwe Southeast, order please, order please. Your Excellency the President, a response to question 2, please.
Madam Speaker, through you, let me express.
Members, resume your seat. No. Honorable members, resume your seats. No. Mulanje, honorable members, you can rise when the president is on the floor. Yes, when the president is sitting, not now, please. Please. Mulanje Bale, please resume your seat. Mulanje Bale, order please. Yes, please, the president has taken the floor. If you have issues, raise them later, please.
Madam Speaker,
proceed, Your Excellency.
Madam Speaker, through you, let me express deep gratitude to the people of Cholo Tava, who is asking the President, and I quote, "I trust that you are aware that some parts of the country are experiencing dry spells which has potential to affect crop production output, specifically maize, which is our staple grain. Despite the fact that the Ministry of Agriculture is yet to release a report of agriculture production estimates for this season, going around the field across the country, it is clear that production will be low. What measures is your government putting in place to cover the expected shortfall and timely in order to avert a prolonged hunger crisis?" Madam Speaker, I am fully aware of the effects of the dry spells that the country is experiencing due to the El Nino phenomenon and the expected impacts on our crop production. The August House is also aware that the country is going through a harsh agricultural season with erratic rains in some parts of the country. What I can therefore assure the honorable member representing the people of Chorotava is that we are currently conducting a scientific assessment to establish the extent and impact of the dry spells. For it would be useless or careless, really, for us to go by circumstantial observations alone. The results of this assessment will then inform the key interventions that we need to embark on. But I must emphasize that beyond government interventions, we will need the support of all Malawians of goodwill and our development partners to adequately respond to the needs. Madam Speaker, I must emphasize, however, that one of our worst enemies, an enemy of progress, is a spirit of despair and a mindset of fatalism. And that we must reject. What we need to deliver to the Malawian people is a message of hope. Not hope based on empty words, but hope based on actions government is taking. Action that we're ensuring that the country's food security goals are met despite unfavorable weather conditions being experienced. Additionally, Madam Speaker, my administration will equip smallholder farmers to engage in irrigation as soon as the current crop is harvested. Early engagement in irrigation activities will ensure that the crops mature before the water sources run dry. And similarly, we will engage smallholder farmers to utilize residual moisture for the production of maize and other crops. Sadly, Madam Speaker, it is clear that some households will harvest almost nothing during this cropping season. And their loss of economic livelihood is a painful reality we need to take seriously. Given the severity of the situation for such households, I have ordered the Minister of Agriculture to give me a comprehensive assessment to establish the required humanitarian assistance and recovery support we need to mobilize to rehabilitate the livelihoods of such households. Madam Speaker, apart from the efforts I have highlighted, I am pleased to inform this august House and all Malawians that my government has put in place the following 2 additional interventions to ensure food security is achieved regardless of weather patterns. 1, a total of 57,065 hectares under smallholders will be under supplemental irrigation in the 2023-2024 rain-fed cropping season. This will help to boost the production realized under irrigation. Meanwhile, the total area under smallholder irrigated crop production during the next dry season is estimated to be around 60,000 hectares, with 20,000 hectares having 2 cropping cycles and 5,000 hectares having 3 cropping cycles. The contribution of irrigation to national crop production is estimated to be 20% for cereals and around 30% for roots and tubers. Number 2, through the Greenbelt Authority, 881 hectares, Malawi Prison Services, Malawi National Service under Malawi Defense Force, 800 hectares, are involved in the production of maize using supplemental irrigation. and they will go into second crop production. This will improve overall production. Madam Speaker, it is envisaged that the strategies put in place will ably cover the deficit that might arise from the current production season. Nevertheless, should there be a deficit, my government will import the shortfall so that no one dies from hunger in this country. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Very much, Your Excellency. Honourable member for Kasungu North. Oh, the honour of the question first. Kasungu North, then Ncheu Wanje South.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for giving me another chance for a supplementary question to the President. Madam Speaker, allow me to thank His Excellency for his response. Madam Speaker, allow me to remind the State President that previously people were promised to receive free maize for 6 months. People were promised to receive 150,000 for 6 months. And this is not happening as promised. Mr. President, why should we believe you this time around? Secondly, Madam Speaker, I would like to find out from His Excellency, as a man in charge of the country, could you please tell the nation the current stock of maize grain in the grain reserves right now? I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Kasungu North. Lead of the House, you're rising.
Yes, I'm rising, Madam. According to Standing Order 65, while we're discussing about availability of food, this question demands data. And it's a new question. Standing Order 65-2.
Thank you. Indeed, honourable members, remember what our own standing orders say about asking new questions. We're supposed to ask a question related to the response given by the President. Thank you. Kasungu North, yes, you have the floor.
Thank you.
Remember, I'm not entertaining any more point of order. Look at the time and look at the number of questions that we have, please. Kasungu North.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for granting an opportunity to Kasungu North to ask a supplementary question to the President of the country. Mr. President, government invests billions through AIP and buys the harvest of the same investment from vendors at a higher price. The MVAC report falls short of some important realities in as far as the harvest and those who really need food is concerned. The reality being that with the booming of the animal industry in Malawi, for example, one of the companies uses 200 tons of maize daily. The owners do not have farms to have the maize. Now, in other countries, these companies do have their farms and they grow their own feed. But in Malawi, almost half of the harvest goes to animal feed production, which MVAC report overlooks, making government respond to inaccurate figures. Two questions for you, Your Honor, Mr. President. Can government consider declaring maize as a protected crop, like in other countries, so that anyone can do any business with any other crop apart from maize, and make sure that all the maize is bought by ADMAC? The second one, like in other countries, all animal feed producers should sign off-taker agreements with specific mega farmers to grow maize specifically for animal feed, and they should agree on a price, so that we protect the citizens as the weather report are indicating that this pattern has caused havoc this year and might stay for at least 3 years. I submit, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member for Kasungu North. Cheu Banje North? Sorry, is it Banje South? Huh?
Cheu Banje South.
Yes, South.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for recognizing the people of Cheu Banje South. The people of Senior Chief Makwangwara, the people of Tie Ganya, the people of Sub-Tie Kutumula. We would like to ask the President what he's planning for them since the rains in my constituency started very late, second week of January. And the dry spells started just 3 weeks after the rains started. So the people would like to know what the President is planning for them since they have been hit by the severe dry spells. I submit, Madam Speaker.
Very much. Honourable members, we've exhausted 3 questions. Your Excellency, the President.
Point of order. Point of order. Point of order.
Member for Urumpi East.
We would like also to ask questions, and this side must also be given that chance.
We'll give you a chance. Honourable member, if you remember, 3 of the previous questions all came from opposition. Yes, so sometimes you need to be reflecting what is happening. The 3 questions that I gave last time all came from the opposition. Thank you. Your Excellency, the President.
Madam Speaker, let me thank the people of Chorotava for a supplementary question that talked about maize distribution. I have with me documents and I have testimonies even from the people of that constituency that have been receiving maize even more than some other districts. That's not, however, to say the maize has been adequate. But the point I'm making is this. For some districts, according to the MVAC report, we started maize distribution way before. Other districts in the center and the north are even just now beginning to get that. So it should be appreciated. It should be appreciated that much as we have a problem, we must acknowledge what has happened. And just because somebody has told them that the grain reserves are almost depleted, and they come here to ask a rhetorical question, let me tell them we have flour that has come into the country, and there will be more help coming into the country because we will do what it takes to make sure that Malawians do not suffer. I have the figures. I do not want to
member for Zomba
that.
Chingali. Can I have order? We need to. No. I need respect and decorum in the House, please.
Thank you.
No. Honorable member 105. Can you go out, please? Go out. Please go out.
Oh.
Madam Speaker, as I'm talking now, I've got people in the hospital
Honorable member
who are
for
being affected
Zomba Chingale.
by hunger. And you can't tell us that
Zomba
there's food
Chingale,
in
can I
the
have order,
hospital.
please?
That's not true. That's
Zomba
not true.
Chingale, can I have order? Sergeant at arms. Can I have order, Zomba Chingale? Please, 105, Sergeant at arms, please. No, we need to respect. Honorable member for Zomba Chingale, can I have order? Sergeant at arms, please. Member for Zomba Chingale, you come back in the House on Friday. Thank you. Your Excellency, the President, please proceed. Cholo Tava, there's no point of order. Zomba Chingale, please. Zomba Chingale, please. You're coming back on Friday, I've said. Thank you. Thank you. To thank you, honorable members. Your Excellency, please proceed with your responses, Your Excellency.
Madam Speaker,
have order, please.
Kasungu North premised his question on the IP investment or non-investment and asked the question, can government not declare maize as a protected crop? And his question came from the fact that animal feed sometimes has taken a large chunk of what needs to be protected for people. And that should there be off-takers of some of those businesses, maybe they can do that. Now, let me just say, issues of maize being declared as a protected thing, I will inquire from the Attorney General so he gives me an opinion on it, and then we can take the necessary steps should that be the case. Second of all, I'd love to encourage companies to do exactly what that honorable member and the people of Kasungu North are suggesting. They go into that kind of arrangement. This is actually the reason for agricultural commercialization, AgriCom. That is the philosophy behind all that we're doing in order that people have what it takes to take seriously agriculture as business. Joe Wanje South asked what we are putting in place because of the severe drought spells that the people there have experienced. On top of what I already stated, let me just tell you that 3,000 hectares at Chile Valley Transformation Project will be up and running in September 2024. So we are adding to the mitigating factors that we have already stated. We know the problems, and we will make sure that those places are identified and well taken care of. In addition, 4,000 hectares are being added using the Mega Farms initiative. So we will make sure that everyone is taken care of. Give us that information. Our workers will also be going around, and we are not going to be using anecdotal evidence. We want real evidence because it is based on fact. And so I just want to assure this House and Malawians that government will do all it can to make sure that these things are mitigated. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. We'll now go to question 3 from Chikwawa West. Honourable members, we need to look at the time. We cannot continue with a point of orders, please. Question number 3, Chikwawa West.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker, for recognizing the people of Chikwawa West to ask the President a question. His Excellency Dr. Lazarus Chakwera. First of all, let me mention that there shall be always one president at a time, and the people of Chikwawa West believe that you are our savior. I rise to confirm that question number 3, appearing on today's order paper, indeed comes from the people of Chikwawa West. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Chikwawa West. Your Excellency the President, response to question 3. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, let me, through you, express my deepest appreciation to the people of Chikwawa West who want to ask the President as to what plans government has put in place to make sure that farmers adopt the irrigation farming systems all over Malawi, apart from the Shire Valley Transformation Project in the Lower Shire. Mega Farms is one of the very important initiatives which your government has committed to implement to enhance agricultural production and commercialization. Your Excellency, sir, most farmers in Malawi rely on rain-fed agriculture. Madam Speaker, I wish to inform this august House and the nation at large that my government is implementing irrigation projects based on the Irrigation Master Plan and Investment Framework. Currently, with development partners' support, my government is implementing 3 flagship irrigation projects, namely Agricultural Infrastructure and Youth Agribusiness Project, AIYAP. Secondly, Program for Rural Irrigation Development, PRIDE. And then Shire Valley Transformation Program, SVTP, and Agriculture Commercialization Project, AGRICOM. Madam Speaker, my government is also rehabilitating some existing smallholder irrigation schemes in order to restore the design capabilities or capacities, rather, and improve their productivity. Some of the projects have a dam component to them to ensure that there is adequate water for both supplemental irrigation in the rainy season and total irrigation in the dry season. Madam Speaker, I wish to inform the nation that my government, with support from development partners, is implementing the Malawi Food Systems Resilience Project, Malawi Resilience and Disaster Risk Management Project, and Malawi Water Services Improvement Project, where new smallholder irrigation schemes are being developed, and some existing smallholder irrigation schemes are already under rehabilitation. Madam Speaker, using the Mega Farms initiative, my government is not just relying on rain-fed cultivation, but rather spreading the risks, knowing well that the unpredictability of rain-fed agriculture faces. Therefore, using the Mega Farms approach, government has engaged a number of private estates to operate as anchor farms, thereby providing extension services to surrounding smallholder farmers and acting as off-takers for the produce. My government, through the Ministry of Agriculture, with $10 billion support from Malawi Agriculture and Industrial Investment Cooperation, MAIC, will facilitate irrigation for 200 farmers, each allocated a maximum of 20 hectares, giving a total of 4,000 hectares. The proposed facilities include drilling boreholes and installing submersible pumps to transfer water to either an elevated tank or excavated reservoir. Madam Speaker, my government, through the Ministry of Agriculture, is providing extension services to ensure effective utilization of the irrigation schemes. It is also pleasing to note that a number of non-state actors are also supporting smallholder farmers in developing and managing irrigation schemes. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Very much, Your Excellency. Honorable Member for Blantyre City South East, Rumpi East, and Mzimba South.
Thank
Members,
you.
I've said I'm not going to, we don't have much time, so we're not putting in a lot of time on the point of orders, please.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to ask a question to the President. First of all, Madam Speaker, today I'm very happy that the President personally has responded to my question yesterday regarding passports. Your Excellency, thank you very much. We hope that the Minister has taken note of the 3 weeks so that we start producing our books. The situation is dire. It's not good. Your Excellency, talking of hunger and about agriculture in general, it's not going to be a question as such, but I wanted to plead with you, Your Excellency, through you, Madam Speaker, to seriously consider looking at the issue of ADMAC. Your Excellency, it is just on paper that ADMAC is being revived, ADMAC is being supported. But if you go on the ground, Your Excellency, there's nothing happening at ADMAC. Now, we cannot talk of empowering our local farmers, Your Excellency, if we do not have a local off-taker. The best local off-taker in this country is ADMAC. The same way Honourable Member for Kasungu North said about having special suppliers for feed maize, we could use ADMAC to encourage ADMAC to sell only to those chicken of animal feed companies. Your Excellency, the importance of ADMAC cannot be overemphasized. At one point, it used to be the hub of our economy. When ADMAC is fully functional,
Member for Blantyre City South. Honourable Member for Blantyre City South.
Yes.
Remember on standing order, I think, is it 65 in terms of the question? It's supposed to be related to the response given by the President. I know you're raising a very, very critical and important matter to do with ADMAC, but then its relation to the question and the response. It's a very, very important question. So I'm sure I've given you enough time, and I'm sure the President and everybody has noted, but it's not related to the question on the floor, but a very, very important question, Honorable.
Okay, Madam Speaker, I get it, and I hope the President, I know the President has taken note. Lastly, Madam Speaker, we don't get this opportunity. Let me finish by saying that the President is talking about irrigation. I would like to encourage the President. We have 4 Malawians who did their school at College of Agriculture at Luana, and they started their own company called FIZID. That is, they are producing locally made pumps, solar pumps. Your Excellency, consider that, and maybe if we can empower them so that we could have those pumps so that we support our irrigation system. I wish we could, I could say more, but Your Excellency, thank you so much. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Very much, Blantyre City South. Rumpi East.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving the people of Rumpi an opportunity.
Members, can we hear Rumpi East in silence, please?
An opportunity to ask the President. My question, supplementary, is last year he made a speech, paragraph, page 8, first paragraph, during devaluation, that he has appointed Minister of Trade and Finance to monitor so that commodities are not out of hand. And up to now, if you may recall, sugar, as of today, from 2,700 to 3,000.
For member for Rumpi East, Rumpi East, Rumpi East, Rumpi East.
The last one.
Honourable members, resume your seat. Rumpi East, please. You are one of the oldest members in this house. You know our procedures.
Yeah,
you know our procedures. You ask a question related to the response.
Yeah,
and you're talking of trade, and this one is on irrigation.
Yeah, the last
Honourable,
question
please.
Is, he visited the constituency and he met TM Mlowe to say he's going to construct Chiweta Mlowe Road. Is this still
No, Honourable member for Rumpi East, you're completely out of order. You know what our rules are. And because of that, that question will not be regarded, but so it's completely not related to the question that we're discussing on the floor. Zimba South and then Kota North. Yes.
Madam Speaker, thank you so much for giving the people of Zimba South to ask a supplementary question to His Excellency Dr. Lazarus McCarthy Chakwera. Madam, the people of Zimba South was to thank the President, more especially for the various irrigation schemes that have been put in place and also the mega farms that are currently in motion. The supplementary question that I wanted to ask is that the byproduct of all the mega farms and also the irrigation schemes that are being done is that we need to have maize. I just want to find out from the President, what measures, short-term or long-term, are we taking so that when we yield maize from all the mega farms or from all the irrigation schemes, when we yield maize, should reach out to the rural person? I understand right now that most of the markets that we have where maize is being sold, they are only at trading centers. Right now, we don't have places where a rural person from Chikande can easily go to a place to buy maize. I wanted to find out from the President what measures have been put in place so that when we yield these maize, we can reach out to a rural person. That is a social element of which ADMAC was doing. Thank you, Speaker.
Honourable, the last one was Nkota North and former Speaker.
Yeah, thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. My question to the State President relates to the responses he's provided regarding the 3 funding windows in connection with improvement of irrigation. My question is specific to AGCOM. The question being whether government could consider promoting the irrigation of sugarcane as a crop that could not only provide the resources to farmers, local farmers, but would also be used in the generation of forex through export of sugar, as well as import substitution through the high production of ethanol, which is used in the blending of ethanol and petrol, as well as production of fertilizers. Right now in Luangwa, there is a company that is being constructed to produce fertilizers. Therefore, if Agricom could undertake a deliberate effort to capacitate, especially smallholder sugarcane farmers, to produce higher volumes of sugarcane and sugar. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Kota Kota North and former Speaker. Your Excellency the President. Leader, you're rising.
Yes, I'm rising, Madam. Looking at the time, we have 5 minutes to go. I therefore beg to move that we extend time for question time to the President in order to allow the President to respond to the set of questions already taken. I beg to move.
Just to clarify, Leader, the set of questions, the supplementary questions or finishing the other 2 questions? Honorable Leader, or just...
Right Honorable, it has pleased His Excellency to take the less of the 5 questions, and therefore I beg that time be extended. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Leader. Honorable members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is that we waive all relevant standing orders in order for us to allow the President to respond to all the questions on the order paper. Those of that opinion say aye. Aye. Those of the contrary view say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried. Excellency the President, response to the supplementary questions, please.
Madam Speaker, through you, I want to express gratitude to people of Blantyre Southeast who passionately spoke about Admark. Let me assure the people of Blantyre Southeast that Admark is not just on paper. Admark has been reconstituted. Admark is going to be funded and capitalized. And I want him to know and the people to know that the commercialization plan has been adopted to have it run commercially and serve Malawians. And so, because I do not want to go into the history of how Admark was incapacitated, he does make mention of the fact that Admark used to be, and the used to be is not in the last 30 years. And so we will make sure that as it has been recalibrated or reset, that it will live up to what people of Blantyre Southeast desire. Let me also just assure the people of Blantyre Southeast that FEAST is already in partnership with Mega Farm Support Unit to supply pumps. And I can also say that it's not just FIST. MACA is also working with mega farms. I was in Chihuahua the other day, and we launched that, and we saw how even what they do there, providing pivots for irrigation, ethanol is being produced and other byproducts. And the story of ethanol, as the Right Honorable former Speaker Kora Kora North stated, is something that also used to be an emphasis that we lost. And we can go back to there, and Agicom will be happy. In fact, they are already wanting to capacitate any cash crop in the country. And so this is a deliberate thing that we must do and use. And Ardmark, let me just say it again, maybe the Honorable Minister of Finance, I should not preempt what you're going to be saying Friday. But I can assure you that we are working on all of these things. A non-question from Rumpi East that we can visit sometime over these things. And so, but in Zimba South, what measures are there to make sure that maize does get to the rural people and not just training centers? And again, with the present rehabilitation, can I say that? But I can say reinvention of Ardmark, we will work toward making sure that it's not just trading centers that become centers where people can access maize. We will go everywhere. This is now the desired social responsibility that Ardmark used to have. And so these markets will be close to the people, and we will make sure that happens. But let people of Mzimba South be assured that measures are already being put in place to expedite the same. Now, let me just again commend Kora Kora North because of the passion, and assure him that smallholder farmers will be capacitated, because Agicom is doing exactly that. And so I want to thank you, Madam Speaker, for these wonderful questions coming from Malawians to make sure that we clarify on some things.
Very much, Your Excellency. Question 4, Machinga Northeast.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Madam Speaker, for recognizing the people of Machinga Northeast. I hereby humbly confirm that indeed question 4 on SONA is coming from the people of Machinga Northeast constituency. Greetings, Your Excellency, from the people of Machinga Northeast. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Machinga Northeast. Your Excellency, the President.
Right Honorable Speaker, through you, let me thank people of Machinga Northeast. I received the greetings, thank you. They want to ask the President if he's aware that a lot of retired government officers who got retired as far back as 2021 have not yet received their gratuity, and this is causing retirees to suffer in silence as they are failing to take care of their families. I'm asking this question as every year in the budget I see allocation on pension and gratuity. Madam Speaker, through you, let me express gratitude to the people of Machinga Northeast. Yes, I would like to acknowledge that government has been providing for pension and gratuity allocation in the budget, as rightly observed by the honorable member representing the people of Machinga Northeast. Is it? Yeah. Is it Mangochi Machinga? Yeah, so I'm right. Okay. I wanted to correct myself. However, what has been happening is that normally the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs provides these estimates based on the available data of civil servants who are expected to retire in a given fiscal year after reaching the mandatory retirement age of 60 years. In practice, though, there has been an increase of civil servants retiring on voluntary basis, and these numbers have reached unprecedented levels such that they are affecting the planned allocation of pension and gratuity in the budget in a given fiscal year. Nonetheless, my government has been committed in reducing the waiting period through consistent and regular funding to the pension and gratuity budget line. You may recall, honorable members, that recently in the 2023-2024 mid-year budget review, that the House approved additional allocation for pension and gratuity from 133.2 billion kwacha to 182 billion kwacha, representing 37% increase. And this extra allocation will enable government to clear part of this backlog up to April 2022 by the close of this current financial year in March 2024. I am quite aware of the plight of the retired civil servants, and my government is doing everything possible to ease off this suffering once and for all. In that regard, I have instructed the Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs to dedicate their efforts and finalize working on a facility that will assist government to clear the backlog and be current in the 2024-25 financial year. The House will be notified through a report by the Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs once all modalities have been concluded. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Very much, Your Excellency. Zomba Malosa, Sanjay Lalanje, and Mangochi Makibe.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for giving people of Zomba Malosa to ask a supplementary question to the President. The President, I hope you are aware that pensions and gratuities are statutory expenditure, meaning that the allocation and the funds are already available for the intended beneficiaries. Why then do we have citizens queuing for more than 3 years without being paid? It appears that your government is deliberately punishing pensioners, because we had a case recently where we had a demonstrating lady which after demonstrating she got her money. So
members,
we are really
order,
wondering
please.
what is really the procedure that you are using. Do we really need to demonstrate to get the pensions? Thank you, Your President.
Sanjay Lalanje.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for recognizing the people of Sanjay Lalanje again. Through you, Madam Speaker, I would like to know from the President the issue to do the pension and gratuities again, because these are statutory expenditure, as my colleague has already alluded to. And in terms of priorities, we should have priorities within priorities. And these are the areas that we need to make sure that we clear. If we have areas and we budget for them, we are supposed to clear. What is it that we are failing to clear areas? We are funding areas, but we are not clearing in terms of implementation. Are we following our own policies? Are we following our own budgets when implementing the budget? Thank you so much.
Mangochi Mankibe.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, order, please.
Opportunity.
I have order, honorable members on my left, please. Order, 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 please. Sanjay Lalanje, please, order. No, order, Sanjay Lalanje, please, order.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for granting me an opportunity to ask a question to the State President on the issues of pensions and gratuities. Madam Speaker, with the admission that indeed there have been people who have stayed over years to be paid, and in the wake of the devaluation which has taken place, and we all know that their amounts that were due some years back have lost value. What is it that government is going to do to compensate these people for the loss due to devaluation?
Thank you, Mangochi Mankibe. Your Excellency the President.
Madam Speaker, through you, let me thank the people of Zomba Malosa for a supplementary question. They would like to know why people have to queue. Do they have to demonstrate in order to get their pension or gratuity? Let me assure the people of Zomba Malosa that people don't have to do that. People go through the normal channels, and even though there was an unfortunate case of one lady, I want you to know that that would not have been done the very next day if the proper issues had not been handled already, because this government follows those processes. This was kind of similar to Sanjay Lalanje talking about priorities. Are we following our own policies? My admission of the fact that there's been problems does not necessarily mean that we are not following our policies. The fact that we can go to people we owe money to and speak to them about matters that are statutory obligations, because this country entered into such obligations. means that when you have issues that have to do with cash flow at any given moment, you may not necessarily be able to do what you had intended to do. And I know the former administration would agree with us, because the reason, for example, we entered into negotiations with the IMF and others is precisely because those priorities are not being followed, and we want to do that which is right. I want the people of Nsanje Lalanje to have the confidence that when we do acknowledge that certain things have not been right, we will say so, and we will do something about it. And once the Minister of Finance has actually concluded this modality we are talking about in order to clear all of this, I want you to know that such questions as Mangochi Monkey Bay are asking in the wake of the devaluation will be considered as well. Everyone knows that one thing affects another, and we want to do what is right, and we will work together. This House knows that once you pass the appropriation bill, it has become law. But many times, even when that has not been followed, there's been explanation to that effect. And therefore, as a country, we must be responsible enough to say, this we've done, this we are doing, this we will do. And that is what we are following right now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Question number 5, Zomba Central.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Madam Speaker, for yielding the floor to Zomba Central to ask the President a question. I therefore would like to confirm that question denoted Q5 on today's order paper is indeed coming from the people of Zomba Central. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Zomba Central. Your Excellency, the President, responds to question 5.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. May I take this opportunity to express gratitude to the people of Zomba Central who are asking the President the question to do with gold. The Reserve Bank of Malawi started buying gold way back, and I'd like to know, A, why government is not selling the gold it has to boost forex reserves, and B, if this gold is going to be sold in raw form or processed, and if processed, where the processing will take place, within Malawi or outside Malawi, and how government will ensure we are not duped. Madam Speaker, allow me to respond to the question raised by the honorable member representing the people of Zomba Central regarding the reasons why the Reserve Bank of Malawi, RBM, has not sold the gold it has purchased so far. Madam Speaker, let me start by clarifying the reasons why my administration decided to start purchasing gold through RBM. The decision to establish a structured market for gold in Malawi followed confirmation of the existence of gold deposits in the country which were being illegally externalized with no export proceeds declaration. Recognizing that gold is a national treasure, as well as the need to sanitize the sector and capture new sources of foreign exchange generation, my administration took a strategic move to operate the structured market for gold. So, Madam Speaker, the honorable members may wish to note that since the start of the project, RBM has purchased a total of 187 kilograms of smelted and assayed gold at a total cost of 19.2 billion kwacha, with a total value of 22.1 billion. The gold is currently being held within RBM and undergoing further refining process and casting into gold bars to be part of the official reserves. In this regard, the honorable members may wish to note that the gold will not be sold until we have accumulated substantial stocks and international gold prices improve beyond the current levels. This should not be a cause of concern, however, since the advantage with gold is that when it is held by the bank, it still forms part of the official reserves, thereby improving the foreign exchange position of a country. Madam Speaker, coming to the issue of whether the gold will be sold in raw form or processed, I wish to clarify that the gold will be purified to 99.99% grade and be held by the Reserve Bank of Malawi as gold bullion. I'm pleased to update the honorable members that the process of purification already commenced with assaying. RBM is now at a stage where the gold will be purified to the assayed grade by the end of the first quarter of 2024. This process is being done locally with the local gold refining company located at Kamuzu International Airport. Madam Speaker, let me finish by urging all my honorable members to continue supporting the efforts by the Reserve Bank of Malawi to ensure that we capture all the gold being mined in Malawi. All of us have a part to play to ensure the country receives maximum benefits from its resources. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Very much, Your Excellency. Honourable Member for Mwanza West, then the whip from DPP, and Honourable Member for Lower West.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for recognizing the people of Mwanza West constituency and for giving us an opportunity to ask His Excellency, the State President, a supplementary question. Madam Speaker, through you, Your Excellency, you are already aware that as a matter of generating forex, apart from gold, another area that must be considered seriously is labor export, as you also indicated in your State of the Nation address. However, Your Excellency, it seems it will take longer than expected to sign a government-to-government agreement on labor export between Malawi and Israel, which may result in Malawi losing out, considering that other countries like India are also exporting labor to Israel. Your Excellency, but also taking into account that we have 3,000 young Malawians that completed all the processes and are ready to go to Israel. Is it not possible, Your Excellency, that your government can request for a speedy process, like just signing an MOU as a matter of urgency with the government of Israel, to allow the 10,000 that Malawi committed to send within 2 months leave for Israel as soon as possible, while the government-to-government negotiations are still taking place? Your Excellency, through you, Madam Speaker, finally, let me thank you so much for addressing the issue of passports. Otherwise, this would have been a challenge in terms of realizing the labor export forex generating activity. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Yes, the question is a bit tricky in terms of the relationship with the original question, but maybe because the issue of forex probably could have some strings attached, but it's not a straight connected question. DPP Whip. Yes. And Mzimba, Mulanje, Southwest.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. And through you, I would like to thank you for giving me a chance to ask a question to the President. My question is, why is the Reserve Bank buying unprocessed gold at international...
Honorable members, can we let the Honorable
105.
Whip ask the question, please?
105. 105. Thank you. I'm asking that why is the government buying unprocessed gold at international refined price? One, related to this, Your Excellency, you have said about the level of forex. I would like to know, the people of Mlanges Southwest would like to know what is the level of forex reserve at the Reserve Bank. These are related because the gold feeds into the reserve forex. Thank you, Your Excellency. They don't understand.
Honorable Member for Doha West. Member, you're rising. I already recognized Doha West as the third one.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for recognizing the people of Doha West to raise a supplementary question on the response given by His Excellency, the President, Dr. Lazarus McCarthy Chakwera. But Right Honorable Speaker, before I raise this particular question, I just wanted to deliver a message from home, Doha West, that we are very excited considering that Chimwaza Nambuma Road has featured very highly on the list of roads that will be upgraded to paved ones. A supplementary question on the response, Right Honorable Speaker. The mineral sector is very, very strategic in terms of consolidating our forex. It is also very strategic, Right Honorable Speaker, in terms of job creation. One critical area where we can easily create more jobs is actually in the field of value addition of our minerals. The President indicated that the gold purification processes are actually happening within the country. I wanted to find out whether it could also be possible as a matter of policy to consider that the precious minerals that we have shouldn't be exported to foreign countries without value addition taking place within this country. I'm mindful, Right Honorable Speaker, that Doha West is endowed with very precious minerals like green tourmaline. Mining processes have been happening, but if you read the economic reports, they don't capture any export of green tourmaline. Chimwadzuru rubies, we have been mining for a number of years, maybe more than 20 years, but without anything to show for in terms of the exports. We can mention so many minerals, so I wanted to find out whether there would be a deliberate policy for us as a country to start value addition in terms of mineral processing before we actually export the minerals. Right Honorable Speaker, I submit this question. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doa West. Your Excellency the President.
Madam Speaker, let me, through you, thank people of Mwanza West who asked a very pertinent question with regard to forex generation that could be had through labor exportation. I want the people of Mwanza West to know it's not going to be long before an MOU is finalized. I'll just give you 2 weeks. And for the whip, let me assure you that RBM is buying unprocessed gold to process it because there's been too much gold smuggled out of the country through the years. Even at the prices that we are buying gold, some are still smuggling this precious stone out. And in order to curb illegal and declared exports, government has to match the price. So this is also a way of empowering Malawians. Otherwise, no one would sell to RBM. But this is also touching on the concern that people of Doha West express. And let me assure people of Doha West, just like I'm doing with people of Mulanje, that the reason we are pushing for value addition in this country, and this gold is just part of it, because the refinery is here. Yes. The reason we are doing that deliberately is to be able to create jobs for so many other people. And we'll do that with the rest of the minerals that are in this country. It is a shame that sometimes we're having to pursue people who've already robbed this nation of precious stones, minerals. But it is all because they were colluding with Malawi. I would not really love this country enough to say we can use these resources to develop this nation. The reason I have emphasized this ATM strategy is precisely so that we are creating our own wealth and truly becoming a self-reliant nation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. That marks the end of question time. And once again, Your Excellency, thank you very much for coming to Parliament to respond to questions. Leader, you're rising?
Yeah, you're right, Honorable Speaker. The President has something else to say as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Leader. Your Excellency the President.
Madam Speaker, the act of before this House for questioning is a sacred and solemn duty that I will always take seriously, not only because it is a constitutional requirement, but also because it is a constitutional right for Malawians to hold their president accountable through their representatives. I'm therefore most grateful for the solidarity of all members of this House for the time to spend this afternoon with them and deliberate on the State of the Nation address that I delivered here 12 days ago. By the way, as a side note, Madam Speaker, the Leader of Opposition's response last week started that this was my fourth SONA, but I wish to inform him that it was actually my fifth. And I took forward